Hi guys, it's Beth. Welcome to my channel, Bourbon Creek Crafts. Today is Smash Your Stash Project Share Day. So this is a collaboration called Smash Your Stash 2021, and it is about using up things from your stash maybe that you don't think about very often, or that you've forgotten about, or that you just have a ton of. And for most of the months we do have a theme or prompt that we are supposed to be using, and this month happens to be flowers. And this is my collaboration, and I kind of did some random picks for certain months, and September was one of them, and flowers is what came for September. And in hindsight, flowers may not have been the best choice for September. I had a hard time. When I think of flowers for September, like, to me, what's common in the Midwest is sunflowers, and mums are big right now. And so most of my projects are sunflower based because that's where my brain and my heart is right now. But I did manage to do something that wasn't, sunflower or fall flower related. I have a 2-page layout that I did for my niece's shower. And this was back from 2014, and the colors of the shower were kind of taken from the colors of what her wedding was going to be. So there was like some turquoise, red, and some cream. And so I went through my stash and found some kind of turquoise and red and white cream, mostly white flowers, just to kind of go with the paper that I had in the background. And so I did some where I layered several flowers together. Here's just 2 flowers layered together, and then in some cases I just used the individual flowers. On the layered flowers I used some like flat back pearl embellishments, and then on the individual small flowers I just used some enamel drops, some vintage white enamel drops. So I used a good handful of flowers on that layout, but didn't even make a dent in my stash. I have a ton of paper flowers. I love them. I tend to collect them, but then I forget to use them. So along that same line, my daughter Ellie was making some decorations for their Barbie house, and so she found like this little wooden, I don't know what I think it was meant to be a buoy for something. We just have a box of like unfinished wooden crafts that my mother-in-law gave us, and this was like a circle, like a lifesaver buoy kind of thing. And so she just took it and wrapped it in ribbon, wanting to make a wreath out of it, and then she took some of my paper flowers and just glued them on to the outside of that to make a floral wreath. And then transitioning into fall paper flowers, like right now I am in craft show prep mode, and so I'm doing a lot of fall decor items. So like plaid and sunflowers and twine are like very much in my brain. They're like filling my brain right now. So I made some little embellishments. I took a mason jar die that I had and cut a layer of white cardstock, and then cut another layer out of this black plaid. It's just paper from Hobby Lobby, so it wasn't very thick, which is why I backed it on the white. And then took some gray cardstock and just cut out the top part of the jar. And then added some fall flowers that I had actually picked up at Hobby Lobby recently, because I thought they were pretty fall colors. So I've got several of these jars, kind of fall. And then I'm working on a pad for Smash That Small Paper Pad, and I also made some little orange jars. I used the orange polka dot pattern for the main jar, and then there was like a yellowish gold wood grain type pattern, and I just used that for the top, and then used some more of those paper flowers. So there's some fallish embellishments that I have ready to go. And then everything else that I have to share is like decor and craft show projects. And again, sunflowers, plaid were all in my mind. So I have this stacked block set. It's just like some wooden 2x4s that were cut down, and then I painted them white. I added some of that black plaid paper from Hobby Lobby here on the top. And I don't know if you've seen these before, but they just like are meant to look like a small set of stacked books, you know, and it's got a saying on the side. This one says, "Bless our nest." I used some Dollar Tree ribbon with lace. It's like a burlap ribbon with a lace layer on it. And then added some of this black plaid ribbon on top. And then I used a lot of these are like 3D flowers that I used from my stash. So this is just like a burlappy lace flower that I added on top of my black plaid bow there. So that's really cute decor project. And then I also had some of these palettes that I picked up. They're Dollar Tree, like little Dollar Tree palettes. So I painted them up in white. And then from Hobby Lobby, I had picked up some fall words recently, wooden words. And so I just painted them brown. And then I added these sunflowers are also from Hobby Lobby. Every fall when they put them out, I like snag as many as I can because they don't ever put them out any other time of year. So I snagged a bunch of packs of those, and so I just added that on as well. And I thought this is like small enough it would fit in a tiered tray. It could also just be used on a shelf. So there's that. And this is one for me, but my husband had cut me some small cutting boards. Like we're trying some new products for this year, this fall. So he cut me a small cutting board, and so I just painted it up in brown, and then I added this sunflower paper on the front using some Mod Podge. And then on the handle, I just covered it with twine, and then I added a little twine bow, and then I have a sunflower charm on this one instead of an actual paper sunflower. This is another prototype my husband made me. It's a wooden mason jar because I love jars, plaid, sunflowers, and twine. That's like four of my favorite. If I could put a gnome on here, that would be a gnome in a truck. That would be all of my favorite things. So for this one, I just covered the jar with some of that black plaid paper again, wrapped the top, what would be the metal part of the jar, with some twine. And then this one is more of a felt sunflower, and I just glued it on the top of the jar. And so this is something like, it's a little too big for my tier tray, but I have like a little hutch that's like almost the size of a pie safe that I have in my kitchen, and so I could incorporate that in there. So I'm excited about that decor piece for me. And then some other things that we're trying this year for craft shows. Again, we're trying to incorporate some tiered tray pieces into our offerings. So here is a black plaid mini rolling pin, and then I just took some kind of craft colored ribbon and then glued on. This one is a clay sunflower. I have all different kinds of sunflowers apparently. So that one is clay, and it coordinates. I'm going to have another set of these that have hopefully this black plaid, and it'll have sunflower on top. So hopefully that will coordinate with that piece. And then these don't necessarily have any like flower embellishments on them. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do on them, but I did use sunflower paper. So I may just tie some ribbon around the top parts here, and I may incorporate some more of these little sunflower charms. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but again, I have several pieces that kind of coordinate, colors and sunflowers, so I'm excited about all that. And again, right now I am just in the sunflower mode. My sunflowers in my garden are starting to taper off, and so I'm bringing in sunflowers any other way that I can. So I made a whole bunch of different projects using flowers this month, so hopefully you got some ideas on how to use some flowers from your stash, whether it's for paper crafting project or decor project, depending on the types of flowers you have. But there is a list of collaborators down in the description box below who are also all using flowers this month. So please check them out and see what kind of flowers they used and how they chose to use them. There's always great inspiration in this collaboration. I've learned something new, I think, every month, so I've really been loving this. But I thank you guys so very much for your time today, and hope you all have a very crafty day.